Great. Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take the top stories in crypto and break them down into bite-sized pieces. So today, just the thumbnail suggests, I've got some concerns about what's going on in the crypto sphere. So we're going to talk about first, MetaMask, Venezuela, and centralization. Second, we're going to talk about my little thank you note to the SEC. Really appreciate what you guys are doing as far as protecting me. That is sarcasm. And lastly, we'll take a look at Robinhood Market Maker to pump crypto. Yes, but there's a catch. And we'll do all those things, and then we'll also do a little Q&A at the very end. 5 questions in 5 minutes. And before we do that, just let you know that we'll do a quick market recap. If you're here for the live stream, welcome. Thanks for stopping by on a Saturday. And just so you know, if you're watching the replay, there will be timestamps below, so you can fast forward, do whatever you want to do. Great. And before we get started, I was reading the comments. Always great for everybody to come in here. I love everybody who actually takes the time. And of course, people are like, Rob, let's hear your FUD stories today. Look, I'll be honest with you. This is not investment advice. This is investment opinion. I think we're all going to make a bunch of money. Okay, that's just my lame prediction that I have. I think we're all going to make a ton of money in crypto. I already made a ton of money in crypto, dollar cost averaging from 2017 all the way to today. I was buying Bitcoin at 5,000, 6,000. I was buying Cardano at 7 cents, 8 cents. I was buying Ethereum at $300. And I've been doing that for years. Okay. So I have no problem looking in the future and going, why can't those same thing happen again if we just keep dollar cost averaging? It's inevitable, in my opinion. Again, investment opinion, not investment advice. However, having said all that, I have concerns right now today. And let's just break into it and get in and just talk about it. So first up, I want to talk about this issue that has been popping up and what's going on. And it's Venezuelan users of crypto wallet MetaMask say they can no longer access it. And this is, first of all, you're probably asking, Rob, why Venezuela? Why should we talk about Venezuela and what's going on over there? Who cares? I care. But it's not just that. It's what's going on with MetaMask behind the scenes and how there's things you should know about certain wallets and how they can be shut down at a moment's notice. So here's what we got. So this message began to crop up on Wednesday. Today is Saturday, so this is a little bit older, but I had to wait on it because I have been busy actually and just got around to it. The suspected culprit is the API for Infura, a blockchain node infrastructure network. The page features a screenshot of an error message akin to the type being spread on social media. It says something like, you can't connect on MetaMask for the host. Here's some potential reasons. Click here. And then you can ignore it right there. It's in Spanish, so whatever. But there's that part. We'll dig into that in a second. But this is somebody from on Twitter, and they took a look at the actual, I guess, looks like the HTML code for the web page. And you can see it clearly right here. Error / or / country blocked / give this message, this country. So essentially what's happening here is that Infura, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Infura, they put that in the code for MetaMask support if you are linking into Infura, which most MetaMask wallets do. And what they did is, we're going to block this country. So the whole thing what you're thinking of is, I thought wallets couldn't do that. Well, they can do that. Depends on the wallet itself. Now, remember that these are wallets that are connected. They're hot wallets. They're an app that you download into your web browser. And that holds, first of all, there's nothing on your web browser. You have to understand that, of course. Everything is on the blockchain. Your private keys, your mnemonic phrases, what is in your possession. So if you're accessing the blockchain through MetaMask, they can shut down MetaMask if they want to. It is a hot wallet, and there are certain ones that they cannot do. And those are cold storage devices, like a Trezor or like a Ledger. So those are the ones that I try to use as much as possible. Unfortunately, with the way DEXs work, I've been using MetaMask a little bit more. Now I'm going to come down. So the question I got was, well, is this real? Well, this was from MetaMask support, their official website. Linked in the description, you can find it out. This is just 2 days ago. It says, by default, MetaMask accesses the blockchain via Infura, whatever, which is unavailable in certain jurisdictions due to legal compliance. When you attempt to use MetaMask in one of these regions, you'll receive this error message, which is the same one we saw was in Spanish. MetaMask is unable to connect to the blockchain host. Review possible reasons here. Dismiss whatever else. So I was thinking to myself, well, I will tweet this out, try to figure out what the heck's Infura. And here they are. Infura is the number one toolkit for 400,000 plus blockchain developers. Dynamically scale your dApp and accelerate innovation with Ethereum and IPFS. So I'm like, okay, well, that's what it is. That's interesting. That's weird. But as we come down here, this is on March 3rd. Today it is March 5th. And because everybody started to complain about this on social media and it got a lot of traction, they stated, hey, in response to the concerns we've been hearing, we want everyone to know that we corrected the problem that so many of you have pointed out and changing some configurations as a result of the new sanctions directives from the United States and other jurisdictions. We mistakenly configured the settings more broadly than needed to be. This was our oversight. We are grateful that it was pointed out to us. Once we determined what happened, we were able to fix the problem and service has been restored. We sincerely apologize for the interruption. Blah, blah, blah. So, great. So that's what's going on. So here's the thing I'm going to ask you right now. So did you know that that could be done? That MetaMask connects to Infura and that they could stop your wallet at any time? What do you think about that? Do you think that's an acceptable action for crypto and digital assets, which is supposed to be decentralized and put in the power of the people? Or do you think that it's okay that these types of organizations can just do whatever they want to do based on the sanctions? And here's an even deeper question that we asked a couple of days ago. Since sanctions are being imposed onto Russian people, Russian oligarchs, Mr. Putin, do you believe that we should be able to put these sanctions on everybody and shut them down on the crypto, the digital assets, on as far as these centralized exchanges? And before you answer that, remember this, everything's a slippery slope. So first of all, these sanctions, who are they really going to hurt? I'm going to tell you right now, I've taken a couple different looks at what's going on just in Russia itself, and it's decaying rapidly. So yes, it'll affect these people, but let's say it goes to Putin. And then you're like, well, that makes sense. Bad for that guy, right? And then it goes down to the oligarchs. Well, hell with those guys. And what about the other people that are underneath them? Well, I don't like them because they serve those people. And then you take those people and you start to go, well, what about the enablers of the enablers? Before you know it, everybody's shut down. So it's a lofty question, and I just pose it to you. But that is what's going on. And then to finish this up, to make this even more scary, or not scary, just to give you a little bit of backdrop. Blockchain company Consensus faces multi-billion-dollar audits as shareholders claim board breaches fiduciary duties. And somebody asked me this question on the last live stream. I was like, I really don't care if Joseph Lubin, a multi-billionaire, gets sued. I don't, because I mean, what does that have to do with me? Everything. So here's what's up. On Tuesday, 1st of March, a group of 35 former employees representing more than 50% of all known Consensus AG shareholders filed a request for a special audit. Special audit is to investigate serious irregularities at CAG, which is Consensus. On August 14th, fundamental intellectual property and subsidiaries were illegally transferred from Consensus into a new entity, Consensus Software Incorporated, or CSI, in exchange for 10% ownership of CSI and an offset of a $39 million loan by founder Joseph Lubin, internally codenamed Project North Star. The transaction resulted in legacy financial institutions such as JP Chase acquiring an influential stake in MetaMask and Infura, two of the most widely used infrastructure tools in Ethereum. Let me say that one more time. The transaction resulted in a legacy financial institution such as JP Chase acquiring an influential stake in MetaMask and Infura, in two of the most widely used infrastructure tools in Ethereum. Joseph Lubin is the majority shareholder of both companies. Transaction was to the detriment of the minority shareholders of Consensus CAG and to the benefit of Joseph Lubin personally. During Project North Star, Joseph Lubin and Friedrich Weinert nailed it, acted as directors at both CAG and CSI. For such a transaction, dual representation is in general invalid under Swiss law and considered to warrant special scrutiny in the U.S. Due to this dual representation, the transfer of assets from CAG to CSI is expected to be void under Swiss law and likely under U.S. law. So, not that it's just some awful thing. I mean, look, if you're making a ton of money, why not make more money? And that's just what it comes down to. So, it's just interesting that now we have JP Morgan, these big players, and they're in the game. Now it just seems like what was decentralized becomes a lot more centralized. There's a lot more concerns that are going on. Do I have all the answers for you? No. But it's just something to bring to your attention. I will say this. When we take a look at the next couple of stories, you're going to see why we're probably going to do really well coming up. But the question is, at what cost? So let me just think about those stories. And real quick, I just want to share with you my little thank you letter. I don't know if this is per se to what happened with Coinbase and the SEC, but I got this email and it said update on your DAI rewards rates, because I've got some different cryptos just sitting on Coinbase. Not a lot. I don't keep money on the exchanges. The majority should go into my ledger. Sometimes I get lazy, just like everybody else, and sometimes I don't transfer it immediately that day. It just happens. But I get these rewards in DAI, and it says, "Hello, Robbie. We periodically assess the rewards rate for DAI stablecoin and notify you of changes. As of March 4th, the DAI rewards went from 2% to 0.15% APY." I was like, well, that's great. I mean, it's better than the bank still. Banks suck. But I mean, and just in rewards. I mean, I'm sure I know people that work at the bank, they're great people, but it just kind of seems like it's kind of interesting that, Coinbase went into the SEC and sat down like Gary Gensler had asked everybody to do. And they said, hey, we want to do a rewards program. And they're like, if you do that, we're going to sue the pants off you. And they're like, okay, we're going to stop. Now they stopped it in America, but they do it, of course, outside the USA. And now here I go with my DAI. Not that it's going to affect me greatly. It's like, it's not much of a reduction from 2% to 0.15%, but slowly eating away at what made this great. So that is that. And then I want to shift and pivot into the last story, which I think is probably the more important one and what you probably want to hear. And this is always good stuff because, hey, everybody wants to hear Moonboy stuff. We're going to 100,000 tomorrow. Well, I got to tell you, this story is actually quite bullish. It is. It really is. So I'm just going to get into it real quick. Citadel plans to start making markets in crypto in coming months, CEO Ken Griffin says. And I even did a story about this like 3 or 4 days ago about how Ken Griffin, the billionaire, who used to really be negative, we'll say, over crypto. And he was, just some of the most, not like rat poison squared, like Buffett and his partner, but pretty bad stuff. But he's come around all of a sudden. He's like, hey, I guess I was wrong, which I was cheering. But there's always some catches. So Citadel is getting into crypto. The CEO and founder of financial services from Citadel, billionaire Ken Griffin, talked about crypto and his company's decision to enter the space in an interview with David Rubenstein on Bloomberg Thursday. Before we get into that, who's Citadel? Why is this so important? There was this great, and I saw someone say this in the comments, there was this great explanation of what the heck Citadel is from the YouTube channel, The Problem with Jon Stewart. And it was excellent. It's 16 minutes long. I linked at the very top. You can check it out. But essentially, what this is pay for order flow. And that's what they do for Robinhood. And they skim pennies off the dollar for every different transaction. And they make a boatload of money. Let's call a spade a spade. So when I see that Citadel is coming in, and they are a market maker, make no bones about it. They are a market maker for Robinhood. What does that mean for us? Now it's probably some pretty good things, especially as time goes on. So Citadel is here. He was asked whether Citadel has plans to trade or make markets in crypto. And he says, to the extent that we're trying to help institutions and investors solve their portfolio allocation problems, we have to give serious consideration to being a market maker in crypto. It's fair to assume that over the months to come, you will see us engage in making markets in cryptocurrencies. Founded in 1990, Citadel operates 2 businesses. First is Citadel, one of the largest hedge funds, more than $38 billion in AUM, assets under management. The other is Citadel Securities, the largest market maker in stocks, options, and interest rate swaps. For retail and institutional clients, the firm handles 40% of all stock trades in the U.S. 40% of all stock trades in the U.S. Griffin also admitted Thursday that he has not been right about his crypto call. He says crypto has been one of the great stories in finance over the course of the last 15 years. I don't know if it's been that long, but sure. I thought it was 2009. And I'll be clear, I've been in the naysayer camp over that period of time. But the crypto market today has a market cap of about 2 trillion. Used to be 3. So I don't know where you were there in round numbers, which tells you that I haven't been right on this call. So I'm going to ask you again, how do you feel about that? Citadel, the market maker that is for Robinhood, the great pay for order flow. Oh, do you know who came up with pay for order flow? Bernie Madoff. It's in this video. It's really entertaining. So we're probably all going to make it. But the question is, at what cost? And that leads me to my last point. Even Kevin O'Leary. I mean, if you want to talk about institutional players getting in the game, Citadel being a part of that is going to bring people in. And here comes Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, says, hey, I spent my day at the Senate with a bipartisan group of policymakers who get the joke. They're working on policy that will open these markets to institutional investors. And all of a sudden, Ken Griffin, from out of nowhere, from left field, says, hey, we need to get into this. That's amazing. So, yeah, that's bullish. But man, at what cost? So I'll leave it up to you. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. And that is it for today's live stream. So that's the news portion. If you got to take off, let's get Saturday. Go do your thing. Have fun. Have a great time. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hey, here's what it is. And consider subscribing. Now let's jump into 5 questions in 5 minutes. Do a little Q&A. See if I can answer some of your burning questions about that craziness. All right, let me get out of here. Q&A. Comment. Oh, go watch Idiocracy. That's where we're at. That's true. Man, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that one. This is a good... Here's a question number 1. Well, actually, here's a comment which is straight on. Daniel Racing says, paper wallets, hardware wallets, nothing else. Yeah, paper wallets, great. I never got to use one because I got in kind of after it. I know you can still get them and use them, but I never really went down that route. I just went down Ledger and just like, that's it. Dale, thanks for catching up. There was some... Okay. All right, let's see if I can answer this. This is a tough one. Quit time. How do you allocate portfolio between hardware wallet and other storage like centralized exchanges for staking? So what I do is I have a spreadsheet, kind of just lay it all out there. Actually, I have the spreadsheet itself is this app on my phone, and I just put all my different trades in there at what time I did it. It's kind of a pain in the A actually, and you can do your cost basis analysis on that one if you want to say, well, now it's time to take profits. I'm 50% up, 70% up, or whatever else it is. Also, cryptotrader.tax. If you're in America, look, taxes are coming up. Get cryptotrader.tax. Links in the description. I'll give you 20% off. But on top of that, they're also going to give you a free, on top of that app, to track all of your trades and everything else. Direct API integration. I know that sounds scary. Don't worry. I've been using it for 2 years. Works pretty well. No problem so far. So that is what I would do, because then you'd have everything there. And that's for worldwide everybody. And then, of course, the people in the United States, they can just kind of switch it over and go, that's all my trades. So hopefully I answered that question adequately. I guess then this is question number 2. Jim, I think I answered your question there. If I sell at a loss, do I still get taxed? If you have enough, like if everything's a loss, I mean, that's actually good for you if you owe, because that is a tax loss, and then you can roll that into your taxes. So I'm not a CPA, right? But let's say that let's say you're in the positive, like the IRS says you owe us $1,000 for, after everything that goes through. You're like, well, I just lost $10,000 in crypto. Well, if that's the truth, then you don't owe us anything. And actually, you can roll those over the next year. Talk to your CPA, though. Question number 2. 3 more to go. Here we go. This is a good one. Do you have any thoughts on DeFi node projects or DeFi projects in general? Well, I got to tell you, there's 2 dexes I use, QuickSwap and Uniswap, and that's pretty much it. And I still have the original Uniswap tokens that they airdrop me all back in the day. So I think those both work out pretty well. QuickSwap is great because not only do you have that option of just the DEX, but I get to play around Polygon, which is super cheap to move things around. I think Polygon is the future. That's why I have a bunch of it. So there we go. And Ken Gregory, who probably, I don't know if you're watching the whole video, get your daily FUD from Rob. Yeah, well, if you're gonna get anywhere, might as well get it from me. Look, FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And for me, like some people will say, well, you're spreading FUD because you're talking negative about the place. Look, man, or ma'am, whoever you are, I got to tell you the truth. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It concerns me greatly that you can shut down a MetaMask wallet. I want everybody to know about that. Also, it concerns me greatly that Citadel is getting in skim off the top. Does that mean it's going to be awful? No, I told you in the beginning. It's probably going to be awesome. But at what cost? And that's for you to decide. I can't tell you what to do. There we go. So, hope that answered your question. Question number 4. What happens if Bitcoin core team and miners get taken out? There'll be somebody in the wings to pick up the slack. If all the Bitcoin miners get taken out, trust me, I've met a ton of miners here in Puerto Rico. They're not taking them all out, and they'll just fill in that spot. Believe it. All right. And then let them ban it. XRP, baby. That's right. This is, okay. This is my number 5 question, Junk Bond Trailer. The title is so unspecific, though. Tell me it isn't slightly dishonest for clicks. Look, man, I can just say news, and then that's it. And then people are like, what's this about? And then when people come in, like, well, it's the news. Or I could say, like, I could be very specific in the title, MetaMask. I guess I could have said MetaMask is centralized. I'm concerned. I don't know. But I just told you, those are my concerns. That's what it is. So I don't know. Some people will say, like, it's clickbait if you say it too much, and it's not clickbait if you don't say it enough. And I'm like, I've only got so many characters to use, and that's it. How dare Rob share his feelings? These are just the things that are in my mind. It's not. Thank you, Junk Bond Trailer. What's your thoughts on master nodes? I think this will be the last one. Like strong nodes, like master nodes. Look, we need a lot of node operators that are out there, and if you're ready to do that and put it down, then go for it. I'm just not that kind of guy. And that's why it's what's great about crypto and digital assets. Like, there's all these different things you can get into. You don't have to be pegged to one particular thing. Like me, I'm kind of boring. Just dollar cost average, kind of wait for the time. And then over, 3-4 years, millionaire, Lambos, to the moon, all that great stuff. And then some people are like, no, I want to really get into crypto number 1272, or no, I want to do DeFi farming, or no, I just want to do stable coins and get the yield in that, or no, pick your poison. I want to be a strong node operator or a Gala node operator or something like that. There's so many things to do, and there's so much going on. Like me personally, you know what I need between us? Just us and like 2,000 people. I need someone who can be a metaverse land manager. That's what I need. Because I bought a bunch of land in the metaverse, and now to really build it up, someone's gonna have to do something with that, because I'm not gonna do it. I'm too busy. But I think that's the next job opportunity. We'll see what happens. Okay, look, I'm keeping you guys too long. It's 23 minutes. Get out of here. It's Saturday. So if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. That's cool. Subscribe. I mean, if you're here at 24 minutes, might as well subscribe. Come on. And that's it for today. So enjoy the weekend. Don't watch the news. Too much stuff. Well, try to minimize the news. Keeps you sane. That's it. Thanks so much. See you in the next one. Bye.